Hey, how's it going? It's Christian. If you don't know me already, I run an agency that makes about $25K per month, and I got here in just one short year of absolutely changing my life. And in this video, we're gonna go over all the sacrifices I had to make myself to hit my first 10K a month, because there's a lot of nonsense going out there, once again, where gurus are telling you that you could hit 10K a month very easily, right? And it'll take you 3-4 hours of work a day, and that everybody can do it. But the truth is, not everyone's doing it, and it's for a very particular reason. And that's what we're going to hit in this video, is because when you understand that it's very difficult to actually hit these goals, you have a higher chance of actually becoming successful, because you could face it at face value and know that there's a certain wall of fire that you have to push through to get on the other barrier of success. So you think it's very high level stuff. Without this, I would never have gotten to the point where I'm at. And it took me about 6 to 8 months to make my first dollar online. And then after that, I rapidly scaled to 10K a month. And it was that 6 to 8 month period that I want to save you, because that's what I'm going to be covering in this video, is the stuff that I didn't know during that 6 to 8 month period. So the first point I want to hit on is actually becoming worthy of making 10K a month. I know when I started out, and a lot of you guys are very similar to me, you kind of put this goal on a pedestal, and in the back of your head, subconsciously, you really don't think that you could hit it, or you don't deserve it. Like, look at yourself right now. Do you think that you deserve to have $10,000 hitting your bank account every month? Right? It might be a little bit crazy to some people. And those are just, over the years, beliefs that were instilled into you by your parents, by your family, and made you have certain scarcity beliefs around money. But the truth is if you could provide value and you have a solid client acquisition process, in that sense, it's simple. But that's why I'm saying it's difficult in practice, because you need to become worthy of doing this. And the absolute best way that I could picture this for you guys is by using my really bad drawing here. But I'm going to draw just a little stick figure dude, right? So this dude right here is you, okay? So this is you, excuse my writing. This is you right now, and this was me a year ago, okay? And now this person is that person that has terrible scarcity mindset, right? You don't believe that there's any piece of the pie out there for you. You can never see yourself making 10K a month, and it just seems such out of reach. And the truth is that it took me 6 to 8 months of being this person until I realized that I am making no progress. And if you want to hear a little bit more about my story, like, I put my back against the wall, right? Like, it was either I was gonna make this work, or I was gonna have to go back to college, get a degree, and end up at a 9 to 5, absolutely miserable, right? And so 6 to 8 months, and I had 1 year to make it work, to show something to my parents so I could be like, guys, this works, this is what I'm doing, I love this, and it's working, right? And 6 to 8 months in, I realized, I'm like, this isn't working. I'm following what the gurus are telling me. I'm in courses. I'm in Iman Godzi stuff. I'm in everybody's stuff. It's not working. What's wrong? And I had all the tactics. I had all the scripts. I knew what to do, but I wasn't taking action, not because I knew, or not because I didn't know that I needed to take action, but because I wasn't the type of person internally that could actually take action. And I don't want to say manifest, right? That's a little bit corny, but visualize my goals. I mean, and the best way I could show this to you guys is this person right here, right now, after this video. If there's one thing you could take away, is this person needs to die. Like, they need to die in order for you to become the type of person that's capable of getting here, right? Because there is a very clear transition between this person, which is you, right? And we could lay out some adjectives here, right? Scarcity mindset. What else was I going through, right? I had a scarcity mindset. I thought that, yeah, there was nothing out there for me, right? Like who am I, right? That's something huge. Like, who am I to deserve this? Who am I to make it work? And then you see people like me now, and you're like, maybe you think I'm like out of reach, and it's like, I am the exact same as you. But I killed this person, and I started doing the habits, and I had the mentality of this person right here. This is really the best way for me to describe it, is I became this little stick dude. But this dude did not have a scarcity mindset. He was abundant. He deserved success because he was willing to put in the work. Are you guys seeing how like this is starting to make sense? Like when I started thinking like this, things just started falling into place because I knew the tactical stuff to do, and you probably do as well, because there's more information online right now than ever before. But why aren't you making money? Why are you wasting time playing video games, smoking weed, going out, drinking, and avoiding the thing that you know you should be doing? It's because you're still him, right? You need to develop a new identity. And I swear to you that I saw it night and day where I was killing off my old self. I used to be the type that would just always go out. I would always drink. I would procrastinate homework and all that type of stuff. And I was just, you know, that kid didn't deserve 10K a month. What about 25K a month? Like, he did not deserve that, right? But here's what I started doing to kind of like make this all tangible. You know, I started waking up early. I'm never a morning person. Waking up early wasn't the reason I was making money. You make money because you go and send cold DMs, right? But the thing is I started waking up early. I started going to the gym consistently. I started eating healthy. I started to stop procrastinating. I started to get off social media as much as possible and be aware of it. Like, all these little things start to tally up, right? And now it became easier to take the action. So that's something huge that I want to drill into, you guys. Waking up early, meditating, journaling will never, ever, ever make you money. It won't. Because lucky for you, making money is a system where you send a certain number of cold DMs, you get a certain number of leads, you call and set a certain number of those leads into appointments, and then you get on sales calls and close a certain percentage of those. It's a system. But becoming him right here on the right is what's going to make it possible. And that's the type of person that's abundant, that deserves success, because he's willing to put in the work and he's changed his habits and the way that he thinks about going about life. That's the first point I really wanted to hit home. Now you should kill off that old self and become worthy of making 10K a month. Another thing, right, and I've kind of hit on this already, I recommend you cut out all vices, right? Put your goal as the top priority in your life. Hormozi talks about this a lot, and I'm going to hit on this a couple times as I finish this video. There's seasons in life, and the season that I went through in the past year was the most defining season of my life, where I found out how hard I could push myself, and it was crazy, and I learned so much more about myself during that period. And in this season, I cut out everything, and I'm not saying you have to, I'm telling you what worked for me. I cut off friends that weren't aligned with where I was going. I cut off drinking, I cut off going out. I would literally go to the gym and I would come home and I would work until I literally couldn't. Like, I wanted it that bad. And that's why I always say, it's like, don't have a plan B. I hate plan Bs. I absolutely hate plan Bs, because that gives you something to fall back on when things get hard. And 8 months in, if I had a plan B, 8 months in, right before everything turned around, if I had a plan B there, it would have all failed. I would have just gone into the comfort zone. But I didn't have one. So what did I have to do? I found out a way to make it work. I killed him. I became him, who's worthy of making 6 figures. And I cut out all vices, and I put my goal of hitting 10K a month as the top priority that I knew I could achieve because I had an abundant mindset, and I knew the tactical things that I had to do. I hope this is making sense. The last point, this is something I am now experiencing, and this probably isn't something you guys are going to run into, but it's very important that you're wary of it. Once you go through this really, really tough season of life, right? Like, I would give yourself 1 year, starting right after this video, 1 year where you absolutely grind your face away. You know the type of person you have to kill and become, and following my content and everything else out there scattered on the internet, you have the tactical stuff that you need to do, right? So change your habit, cut out your vices, become the type of person that's capable of hitting 10K a month, and do it consistently for a year, and have no plan B. I want to see you in my DMs and tell me how successful you are, right? Like, I guarantee it. There is no option where you're not successful if you truly have all of that stacked in your favor. Now, what happens when I was working 12, 14 hours a day, going to the gym, no social life, like nothing, man. It was just this, right? I became wired in my brain to literally live to work. It was insane. And I am now coming off of that season of life where I could start just enjoying some of the fruits of my labor and live in a more balanced season, right? Because there's extremes, right? On one extreme, it was, 12-hour days. It was no social life, no drinking or literally anything, right? Like, it was wake up, like I wouldn't leave my house. It sounds so nerdy, right? But that's the season I was in because I was going to hit my goal no matter what. Literally nothing would stop me. And depending on how bad you want your goals, you would do the same, right? Some people are on the fence. Some people are still in college. They have something in the background. And I'm not saying people that have a plan B don't make it work. But if you want this to be 100% success rate that you are going to do this, don't give yourself a plan B. Do the 12-hour days. Do this right here. And this is only naming a couple of things, right? That I had to cut off and actually do in this past year. But if you're doing all this right here, this isn't sustainable, right? Like, as human beings, like, this is not sustainable. We're not robots, right? So on another extreme, it's going out all the time. Like, chasing women all the time, right? Drinking a ton, like just being super social, not caring about work whatsoever. And what I've came to realize is my brain is now wired into only this mode. While most college kids, most of you maybe in high school, are living in this mode, right? To, just go out and just eat shit and not really care about anything. You know what I mean? So I was him, by the way. Like, this right here was me. Like, I would go out, I was up in a college town, in a college university. That's who I was, right? And so I rewired my brain and I became this extreme. And now I'm reversing it to a more balanced life, right? Where I can go out, I can travel, I can have fun while still building my business. And so I just want to tell you, that is something you will run into, right? But understand, like Hormozi says, the season you're in, and you need to go through a grind season, and then you could go into a more balanced season where you could prioritize family, right? You could prioritize relationships, you could prioritize going out and traveling and that type of stuff. And that's kind of where I'm going, right? But that's kind of the moral of this video. And this is arguably one of the most important videos I'm going to make. It might not gain the most traction for the sole fact that it's not shiny, right? It's not shiny at all. But I think this concept alone is going to pay off for you so much if you actually take this home and take some notes and really apply this to your life right after this video. Is if you're not currently making 10K a month, that means the identity you are has to get killed, right? Like, no matter what, I don't want to hear any excuses that, like, oh, about to get there, or like, whatever it might be. You're comfortable. That's your brain telling you you're comfortable. As humans, we are designed to live in a comfortable state. But realize it firsthand, I am being in a comfortable position. Let me give myself no plan Bs. If I really want this goal, no plan Bs, right? Let me acknowledge that I need to kill this self off and become this dude over here that's abundant and knows that he's worthy of the goal, and then take the necessary actions and put in the grind season for a year. And man, you're going to be successful. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, right? I don't get anything from these videos. I don't sell anything. I'm just kind of giving you, the stuff that I wish I knew when I was starting out. And I think that concept alone would have paid off so much for me if I actually digested it. Because it's one thing to watch this. It's one thing to actually apply it, right? And so I don't know if old me would have applied this, but if you're watching this right now, try to apply this and go through your grind season so you can 100% be on the route to become successful. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, just click that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know down below what type of videos you want me to make, service delivery, more stuff on client acquisition, mindset stuff, lifestyle, that type of thing, and I'd be more than happy to do it. So click that subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.